TaySon has proved the world that he is one of the best Fortnite players ever, racking up 5 FNCS wins on EU and earning over $1.1 million online. He is the GOAT of EU.
One dead.
Connected. I'm not moved out. 15.
Dead.
Nice. On me. Dead.
40. Basket.
On me. Right here. Dead. Let's go, baby. Let's go.
The two names you have to be focusing on right now. TaySon is literally in a world of hurt, but at the same time finds two. That could be the difference. It'll have to be Vino going for the win right now in order to catch up. He's going for Erkin as well. If he gets 3, that could be it. He's moving forward, forcing the placement. TaySon on all walls, but he sees everything through. Finds it. A big matchup. TaySon takes them all.
He started his career all the way back in February of 2019, where TaySon would play his first ever tournament, the Prospect Division Cup, but it wouldn't be until 2 months later in April where he would make his first earnings in the World Cup warm-up. However, he wouldn't place that high, with his best placement being 100th in the 10th week of duos. He would still end up making $1,500 just from the qualifiers. With his career off to a good start, the first ever FNCS was announced in Season X, and we all know how that went.
Yeah, watch your side. Yeah. Getting mech. The mech's tarping in. He's tarping it in.
What? Where did that kid just go? What? It's invisible!
He would end up not qualifying, with his best place being 106th in week 4. The new chapter was announced, bringing a new map, weapons and items. With the FNCS being squads this time, he would end up qualifying to the heats, where if you placed 6th, you would qualify for the finals. But unfortunately, he would place 7th, just missing out by 2 points. The next FNCS is duos. He would pick up Yanis. Ready to prove how good he really is, they would go on to win the FNCS warm-up, and then later go on to qualify to his first ever finals, getting a 2nd in week 4. As expected, he wouldn't do that well, getting a 33rd, but lucky for him, the solo FNCS Invitational was announced. He would play super consistently, but just wasn't able to pull through with the win, placing in 5th and taking home a light 50 grand. He was happy that the next FNCS was solos, but did he have enough experience to win? He absolutely dominated, winning by 11 points and taking home 80 grand. With the next FNCS being trios, lots of people wanted to play with TaySon, but he decided to play with Mongrel and Mitro, creating one of the most entertaining trios ever.
Bro, TaySon, we're not hearing many comms from the little IGL dude.
I don't know what's going on.
Oh, what are you guys doing, man?
What are you doing? I need some comms though.
Let's go. That kid only had an AR. Nice.
Get out! Don't ever call me shit again! You're both dog shit compared to me, bro.
Wow, when Mongrel gets 3 shots in a row.
Despite the trolling, with Mongrel and Mitro's fighting skills and TaySon's IGL skills, they dominated everyone.
I need you to big, I need you to big. Just wait. Impulse. Let's fucking go! Get him out. Oh, tell him I'm getting there. Monster. Dead, one dead.
On the first day, they pulled ahead of everyone else, having a 30-point lead on second, but heading into the second day, some teams decided to land on them and try and grief their FNCS. They would end up winning the first game of the day, but they would die or spawn the rest of the day, getting a 32nd, 21st, 31st, 25th, and a 22nd. They finished the tournament with 194 points. They just needed the second place team, who was Anderlex, Yanis, and X-Squeeze, to get a worse placement than 5th with 8 kills. Luckily, they placed 14th with 2 kills, which means TaySon is the only player to ever win back-to-back FNCSs on EU. But apparently winning wasn't enough, as he decided to try out with different trios for the next FNCS. He ended up playing with Mr. Savage and iDrop. They would of course make semi-finals, which they won. A lot of people had high expectations for TaySon to win 3 in a row, but unfortunately that wouldn't happen, placing in 8th, which is not a bad placement, but in the eyes of TaySon, not getting a top 5 is like losing the FNCS. For the next FNCS, he would drop Mr. Savage and iDrop, picking up duo FNCS winner Nate and Forzia. They would of course make the semi-finals, and won it. When it came to the finals, they would play super consistently, but only end up getting 3rd. Lucky for him, the solo all-star showdown was announced. If you don't know how you qualified, basically you had to be one of the most consistent players from the last 2 FNCSs to be invited, and TaySon having an 8th and a 3, he was obviously invited, but was he still the GOAT of solo?
Focusing on right now, TaySon is literally in a world of hurt, but at the same time finds 2. That could be the difference. It'll have to be Vino going for the win right now in order to catch up. He's going for Erkin as well. If he gets 3, that could be it. He's moving forward, forcing the placement. TaySon on all walls, but he sees everything through. Finds it. A big matchup. TaySon takes them all.
He won the tournament, winning 2 of the 6 matches and racking in 150 grand. The next FNCS is trios again, so TaySon would pick up Rezon and Vino to play. He would qualify straight to the heats in qualifier 3 and then make it to the finals. They would play well, but it wasn't enough to win, placing in 5th. The next FNCS, TaySon decided to stay with Rezon and drop Vino for Chapix. However, he would have his worst placement since the duo's FNCS, placing in 16th. For the last FNCS of the chapter, the Grand Royale was announced, and TaySon would stick with Chapix, but pick up Hen, who was arguably the best fighter at the time. Now with this monstrous team formed, how will they perform? Heading into the next chapter, the FNCS would be duos, and TaySon would play with Thomas HD. They wouldn't do that well in the qualifiers, but he would make the semi-finals and place second, making it to the finals. They placed third, not too bad, but heading into the next FNCS, they were going to play together. But during the solo cash cup, they both landed at their duo drop spot and got into a little beef with each other. He would duo back up with Chapix and place second in the first qualifier. Then he would place second in the final, taking home 100 grand. He would stay with Chapix for the rest of the chapter, and they would place really consistently in the qualifiers, but couldn't get the win. The last FNCS of the chapter would be the FNCS Invitational, and TaySon, being TaySon, would be invited. He would land Cloudy Condo, however he would get double conned by Malibuka and Mustache, and Aqua and Rezon, so he would place 32nd. Obviously not the finish he was looking for, but considering he was double conned, not terrible. Heading into the next chapter, the FNCS game mode would be announced to be duos, and TaySon decided to play with Mustache. The first tournament they played in, they placed in first, and they would later go on to qualify to the FNCS finals. However, they would fall behind on day 1, but on day 2, they would need to play the best they've ever played before to get the win. The last game of the FNCS came down to a 1v1 between Malibuka and TaySon. Whoever survives the longest wins.
Every hammer, a risk for them. They have to double up on boxes. TaySon moves forward again. Box beside Bevies, it's trouble. Knocking at his door, TaySon taking out a 50 HP. Malibuka looking safe. He makes a few boxes, Bevies is still holding him down. They got a match for TaySon, he has to switch layers, but great fire shots from all sides. TaySon in trouble. Now, TaySon needs this elimination to stay in the game, and he finds it on the Marius. The GOAT continues his reign. He ignores everything because he prefers position, he prefers to live, and he can land the shot, but once again, finds himself on a low point, 48 HP. Player below him, low HP, can't enter the floor, has to hammer all the way out. TaySon on the backside of his own, no match left. TaySon hung high to try. Malibuka on his last match is 12-0. So close to the mine. Malibuka in the box! It's done!
That's why he's the GOAT! TaySon stays alive when it shouldn't be possible!
TaySon clutched the win, taking home 100k and getting a ticket straight to the Global Championship at the end of the chapter. He would also place second in the next FNCS behind Vino and Queasy. That won 6 of the 12 games, so it was pretty impossible to beat them. Fast forward to the FNCS Global Championship, where TaySon would play in the upper bracket. Because he won the Season 1 FNCS Major, he would go to the upper bracket instead of the lower bracket. He would qualify to the final, placing in 18th. Going into the finals, TaySon would be contested by Chicho and Trulex, but this time they would fight. He would place 15th, taking home 50k. Recently, TaySon has just been playing cash cups and making some content with different content creators. We haven't had an FNCS since the Global Championship, so we haven't seen him play competitively yet this season, but I can't imagine that he's not already figured out the meta. He has already proved that he is one of the Fortnite competitive greats.